Hello, my name is Dark Mandala, and today is Upcycle Recycled Wearable Art Day. And this is a time when I want to show you the projects that I've been working on that are of the upcycled and recycled nature. I basically use upcycled and recycled materials and fabrics and make them into a whole new outfit. I've been working on several different projects at once, but there's one that I've been working on primarily when it comes to the upcycled and recycled wearable art. And those of you that have been following along know which one I'm talking about. So I've been doing some more work on it. So we should give you a little example of it. This is what's going on with it. It's a hand embroidered dress. It's a hippie slash gypsy slash goddess dress. I'm actually thinking about adding a symbolism for the god on here too. Maybe the green man or an African god. Probably incorporated in the front. So yeah, I finished all four of the, was it four of them? One, two, three, four, yeah. I finished off four of the flowers. The four, number four makes me think of earth, air, fire, and water. So that's what I think of when I think of four, the number four, the elements. And then there's on the side here that I recently worked on, which is a pentagram. People think the pentagram is something evil. It's not evil. It's the symbol of protection. Originally, that was the meaning of it. The meaning has changed throughout the years, and people don't even know what the fuck it is to wear a pentagram and not know what the history behind that symbol is all about. They'll just wear stuff because it's in style. And so I think it's really important to learn more about these symbols that you use within your art, or if you wear it upon your person, or even most definitely if you get it tattooed on you. You want to know what it's about. So that's what symbolizes to me is protection, not evil or the devil or anything like that. So and this symbol has been around even before Wiccans, pagans have used it. So if you do a little research, dig in, you'll find the truth behind a lot of these symbols that are being used all the time and misused in Hollywood. A lot of the times the pentagram will show up in Halloween horror type movies. I noticed that. So here's the other side with the pentagram on it. I'll probably do some more finishing touches on the other side again, but I'm just pretty much trying to get the basic shape of it, the star with the circle around it. Yeah, these are symbols that have been used for centuries. I'm going to just go ahead and get into sewing. Since so many of you seem to enjoy the last one where I was sewing live, so, well, not live technically, but you know what I mean. It's been a really hot day here in sunny California, and yeah, I've been doing everything to stay hydrated, and I hope you caught my video where I did a recipe for how to make, it was a hemp banana, not milkshake, smoothie. It could be a milkshake if you added like almond milk or coconut milk to it, but I didn't have neither one, so I just used water, frozen bananas, and hemp seeds. That's what I used. So yeah, but it was a really refreshing drink, and I make so much of it to where I can sip on it all day if I want. You know, put it back in the fridge and keep it cool. Important to stay hydrated. And important to slow down and do things, you know, like this. They don't take too much physical effort. The only effort it takes is trying to thread the needle. So let's see. So if you're wondering what the music is in the background, not the best recording ever, but it's a video from when I was in this band called the Lost Cherries, and we did a few gigs, you know, around town, and our first performance was a house party, and it was at the house we were renting, not this one, but the one that I lived in before this one, and we decided to have a house party and have our first show, and that's when we performed. I performed in front of people for the first time. I was really nervous, but as I got going, I wasn't so nervous, you know. I only knew a couple of people that showed up for the party slash concert, but it was a fun adventure. So that's another way I like to express myself was through music. I haven't been in a band since that one. That was a while ago. So I just mainly I do like to write as well. So mainly I've been doing a lot of writing, and yeah, who knows, you may see a book on the shelf by me one of these days. But yeah, I've been writing, doing a lot of writing. I've been inspired to do so with all the events that have been going on in my world, in my life recently, and the recent passing of my sister, which was on a Sunday. I found out about that, and some of you have seen that video that I did where it was a two-part show where I did a tribute to my sister. She's a Gemini who passed away, and I had a lot of good memories with that sister. I didn't, unfortunately, get a lot of time to spend with her because we lived far away. I mean, we're both in the same state, but we didn't live in such a way where it was convenient for me to just go and like visit easily. So she had her own things going on too that she was dealing with. But overall, she was one of the most respectful siblings that I've had, you know, that I've, you know, had the pleasure of knowing. So I do feel like she's is doing better than she was here on this planet. She faced a lot of adversity. First of all, just from being an African American female living in this country, that's a challenge in itself. And being respected, you know. I feel sad for her children because I know her children, you know, love their mom, and I know it's probably really hard on them. So I haven't been in contact with any of my family because there's just been a lot of drama that ensues whenever I used to try to engage within the family unit. And it wasn't to no fault of this sister that passed away. It's just other people involved that would just make situations really crazy. And it's like created dramas, you know, dramas that don't need to be happening. But people get bored with life, and then so they have to create some sort of drama. Or maybe they don't get bored with their life. They don't want to face the problems and challenges that their life is presenting to them. So you want to walk away from those and then get involved in someone else's life and cause drama within their life. So that happens a lot. So yeah, it happens way too often, the whole drama thing situation, especially with families, you know, and big families, because I come from a family of 8 and I'm number 8 of 8 kids, and so that's, yep. So yeah, I'm trying to thread this needle, but it's not as easy as it appears. Look how small the eye of this needle is, my fucking god. Well, when I bought the needles, this set of needles that I've been using, I thought they're gonna be really sturdy, you know, and last for quite a while, which most of them have. I've only broken 2 needles out of all the needles I bought from this company, but I got some needles that have really small eyes on them. And it's not that I can't see. I could totally see it, but the thread is so thick. Sometimes I wet it a little bit so that it could go in there better into the eye of the needle. It probably doesn't help that the fan is on too. I actually got 2 fans going on in here. I feel like I'm kind of melting in here. So we'll get it eventually. What's the timestamp on this? Okay, 10 minutes. Okay, we're not going too far above my phone's capabilities. So feel free to tell me, you guys, what kind of sewing projects you're working on that have to do with upcycling. Upcycling is a very fun thing to do, because you get to explore all these different textures of fabrics that you never thought you could work with, that could work together, you know, with other fabrics, you know. Like I've got like this kind of fabric here, you know, the sheer fabric that's but what it used to be was a shower curtain. And it's really thin, and I like that translucent look to it. Like it's a lavender translucent look to it. And a lot of the stuff, the fabrics that I get donated to me, a lot of times the original form they were in I didn't like. Like a hideous looking winter sweater look great when you take it apart and turn it into a handbag, you know, or something like that. So it's good to get really creative and just let your imagination go with these type of projects, and also not to think about when am I going to finish this, like there's a freaking deadline. For me on this is no deadline, because this isn't like this is a commission piece. It's something that I wanted to work on. I like all of the artwork that I do when I don't do it as a commission piece. It's whatever time, whenever it gets done is when it gets done, type of thing. So because there's a lot of projects that I find that I can't work on if I'm in a certain mood. Certain projects are better for certain moods for me. So I can't get this, and I can't get it in there, guys. Oh shit, I'm gonna have to get another needle. I'm gonna abort that mission. I've got my stuff in here. See, I got these needles in here. Let's see if I can find one with a bigger eye on it. The eye of the needle. Eye of the tiger. I should put a tiger on here, or some sort of cat. You know, this is having the colors of, at least the gold and the orange is the colors of the astrological sign Leo. It's just kind of going in that direction. Maybe I should put a lion in here somewhere. Now that will be a challenge to to embroider a lion. Oh man. It's doable, yet wow, yeah. That would be intense. Even better would be like if I beaded a lion on there, glass beaded lion on there. Why not go opulent with this? It's getting fancier and fancier as time goes on with working on it. Are you telling me this one won't thread either? Oh no. We are in trouble. I'm gonna spend most of this show just threading the needle. I'm sure you guys don't mind. Oh, come on. But I do. Jeez. Let's try to get this again here. It's thick though. The thread is really thick. You never notice how thick your thread is until you actually start trying to thread a needle. That does happen. Some people use like beeswax on their thread to help it to go through the eye of the needle. I've never tried that. I do have beeswax, but I don't have anywhere it's like flattened out and melted or whatever. I just have the little the beeswax granules, which you can use to make candles. Okay, I'm almost there. Come on, you can do it, you can do it, you can do it. I did it! Thread the needle, yay! Oh my god. How long did that take? You guys are watching. Did you time how long that took me to thread the needle? took me a while. I know that much. Anyway, with perseverance, anything can be achieved in life. Even some, just threading a needle with the smallest eye on the planet history of this planet. It has a really extremely difficult eye to thread is beading needles. Oh my God, those beading needles, and they're very fragile. You got to be really careful with them. Maybe by the end of this show, I'll remember to show you this one piece that I've been working on for quite a while. I stopped working on it because I didn't have money to buy glass beads, but I was trying to make it almost completely glass beaded bag, and it's a fairy inspired bag. So I'll show that to you. If I have the funds to get glass beads, I'm going to look up some shops actually, because there's been bead shops that have been following me on not Instagram. Well, on Instagram too, but on my Etsy shop. I mean Etsy, just in general. They've gone to my Etsy shop and favorited some of my jewelry. So I went over and looked at some of these bead shops on Etsy, and it seems like they might have a few decent prices. I usually just make my own beads, but when it comes to glass beads, I don't know how to make glass beads at this point, so I'm just gonna, check it out. I'm all about finishing out the projects that I started, but then I do get these requests. Can you make such and such? Like recently, one of my husband's friends from work, he asked if I could make what he named as an amp imp. It's a little tiny fabric doll and very little features on it, but it has like a symbol on it to represent what it's about. The one I made for his friend was had a snake on it, design on it, that embroidered on it. But yeah, they basically are like little totem dolls just to carry with you. Each one can have like a specific meaning for it, based on what's on the fabric that it's being sewn with. So used. But yeah. So I recently sold that to that guy. So yeah, this is coming along. What time are we at now? We're at 17 minutes and 50 seconds. What are you guys sewing on? Seriously, what are you making? Let me know. Because I've been getting comments, people saying that what I'm doing is really inspiring them. So feel free to share what it is you're making, and you can start up a dialogue in the comment section. There's so many different ways to recycle and upcycle, and there's so many different things you can make with upcycled and recycled fabrics. I've got my share of upcycled and recycled fabrics. I don't think I need any more. The only thing I would want is probably like stuff like lace or and I was gonna say beads, like glass beads, stuff like that. I would really dig on getting. And a lot of times when you go to thrift stores, you can find these outlandishly crazy looking dresses that you'd never wear in your whole life. but they maybe have a lot of beads on them, so you could get it just for the beads, just for the adornment that's sewn on there. Sometimes I'll do that. I did that once with the was it a dress? I think it was a dress where I took apart the beads that were on there and used it to adorn, I think, a handbag, I believe. So I've always been fascinated by creating my own design of clothing. When I was 12 years old, I think I told this story a long time ago on this channel, but I'll tell it again. When I was 12 years old, I had this idea that I wanted to become a fashion designer because I really enjoyed drawing different designs for wearable clothing, but the things that I was designing was far from what I was seeing in magazines. At some point, the magazines like Vogue and Elle magazines are very very avant-garde and very artistic and very much into exploring all kinds of different approaches to creating a I don't know, what would you say? I guess to these days, I think of when people wear certain items of clothing, they're trying to express themselves, and they're trying to, I don't know, maybe not so much just trying to follow a trend like back in those days, because with Vogue and Elle, they were kind of presenting clothing that nobody would wear, I mean, like avant-garde stuff and clothing that looks totally uncomfortable if you were to wear it every day. But it looked interesting and artistic, and that was something that I really liked and was a bit inspiring. And then I realized that industry is not such a great industry to be a part of, because there's a lot of really horrible shit that goes down within that industry, and any corporate industry like that. Fashion industry is a corporate industry, um, and they cater to just specific people, the elite. So that's how it works. For a while, when it came out, I was watching the show called Project Runway, and I'm sure you guys know about that. And it's just another one of those reality TV shows, but only about something that was a little bit more fascinating to me, because I like to sew and I like to create art with clothing, with cloth, and wearable art even better. So, but I used to watch that show, and I watched it, yeah, to be entertaining myself, but also because I liked some of the innovative things I felt like they were doing with some of the challenges where they had to create an outfit based on items that they got out of a car, like car upholstery and all kinds of unconventional materials that most people wouldn't use to create a clothing design of some sort. So that was something that was inspiring to me. Um, when I was younger, I did like to, like I said, I did like to draw fashion designs, and then I tried to try it out with sewing by hand on one of my dolls, and I would end up liking it, but I wouldn't know the exact measurements to where if I wanted to make it to come off, then I could to change outfits, make all kinds of clothing. I didn't go that far with it, because I think mainly because I didn't have means to a sewing machine. So probably if I did, I probably would be sewing to this day, but I wasn't fortunate enough to have that kind of guidance. There was a sewing machine in our house, but I was not allowed to use it, so there you go. Alright, so I got the other pentagram finished on this sleeve. This is just a rough sketch of it. I might go over that several more times so it looks even neater. But that's where we're at on that. So the next thing I do want to do is maybe possibly show you this standing up, and so you can see it in its entirety almost. Ah, woo! I really see it. If I can just do like that, see. And then here's this right here. It's almost is kind of looking. Someone made a comment a while back about this. It's reminding them of quilting, and I can see why, because a story is unfolding on here. How she's connected, Mother Earth's connected to these flowers, 4 flowers, and I definitely want to incorporate the god, figure for the god, as well, as well as the goddess. I think we should appreciate the gods as well as the goddesses. So here's the other side, and this is by no means completed. It's going to take a lot more work, but I'm enjoying the process, and I hope this is inspiring you all to be as creative as you want to be, and to just have fun. Don't have a goal in mind when you're creating something like this of when you're going to have it done. Just enjoy the process and see what comes about. And to tell you the truth, I've only been working on this once a week. and I'll add something new to it each time. And that's how often I've been feeling like working on it, is once a week. So yeah. So let me sit back down. So yeah, thank you for joining me today for today's show of upcycled, recycled fashion. Like I said, I hope you find that. Oh, that's right. There was one thing I wanted to show you before we end this. I did say that I would show you that one fairy-inspired handbag slash purse that I was working on that I need to get glass beads for, and that could be included as being wearable art. Let me grab that right now. Okay. So let's put this. Where's the hanger to this? Oh, here's the hanger. Okay. Hi there. Find that hanger to that. Here we go. And listen to the music while you wait. Now I'm probably not gonna. Oh, here it is. All right. Found it. I found it. I found it. I found it. I found it. So here it is. It's let's see. Let me take it off of this hanger. That's how I've been hanging up my handbags I've been working on. Just some regular hangers because I have nothing else to store them on. But this is the handbag that I was talking to you guys about. Handbag slash purse. So that's one of the fairies. And all of that I wanted to completely put in glass beads. And I ran out of glass beads, unfortunately. Here's the other fairy on this side. And the fairies are done up in watercolor paint. I'm wondering if I should come on top of them with some acrylic paint, a little bit light, but just so that it stays on there. But that's the other fairy on there. And then here's the two fairies, conjoined twin. Well, they're not really conjoined twin. This looks like twin fairies on the other side of the bag. And all of this down here, I just want it to be, and they got their wings here, but I just want to be able to get some more, get a whole bunch of glass beads so I can finish this, you know. I'm really proud of it, and whenever I put it up to show it off, people, well, not show it off, but to show what I've done on it, people's like, I can't wait till you finish it. Me too. Well, I can wait, because I need tons more glass beads for that, man. So yeah, that's what that's about. And I thought I'd share that with you. Just another type of wearable art that I create. And yeah, I consider it wearable art because you're going to be wearing it on your person. When the strap's on your shoulder, you're wearing it. So let's see. Let's not get my thumb stuck in there. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed today's show. It looks like we're heading into like the 30-minute mark on this. So let's put this aside for now and say thank you for joining me today for today's show. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for subscribing to my channel. Thank you for the likes and shares. And thank you for your kind comments. I hope that this inspired you guys to want to do something creative with recycled fabrics. There's so many pieces of fabrics out there that can be recycled and made into a piece of wearable art, or into a fabric doll, or to a handbag or whatever. But don't just throw it away just because you're like, oh, I don't like this. Because a lot of these fabrics that are being thrown away cannot break down in like, say, in a landfill. There's a lot of clothing out there that's being dumped all over the place that has a lot of polyester in it, and that's plastic. So if you could get another life out of those type of items of clothing, by means, do whatever you can, because it's just bad for the environment. Alrighty guys, thanks for joining me. And if you'd like to support this channel, you can donate $1 or more to my PayPal at kdaddytmama@comcast.net and include a question you'd like to see answered on an upcoming show. And I may include a little bit of research on the side to show my appreciation. It's not necessary to donate to my channel in order to watch the videos on this channel, but if you do, that's what I'll do for you. And I've been getting a lot of really cool questions from you guys, and I appreciate that. I appreciate all the thank yous, um, all the kind, comments that have been given to me about my sister's passing. It's been very, very kind. I've been feeling a lot of kind energy, a lot of positive vibrations coming my way. So I just wanted to say in this video, just take some time out and say thank you. And I hope you guys are doing well. And if you're not doing well, I'll send my positive vibrations out to you and all your loved ones, and many blessings and protection upon you to guide you throughout your days and your nights, and to keep you out of harm's way, because there's a lot of people just shooting negative energy out at you willy-nilly, especially if you're an optimistic person and you really have a positive outlook on life. For the most part, you're under that, living that life of harm none, type of thing, not harming anybody. Do what you will as long as you don't harm yourself or harm others. So I think something's heading into something else I don't want to hear in the background here. So, but yeah, thanks for joining me, guys. Like I said, the music that was playing is from this band that I used to be in called the Lost Cherries. So if you want to check that out and listen to more of that type of music, feel free to leave that in the comment section below, and I could talk more about that band that I was in. And also, I could play some of the music from that band that I was in, and we're thinking about, me and my husband are thinking about putting up the music available on SoundCloud. So definitely look forward to that. Let me know what you think about that, and brightest blessings to y'all, and I'll see you soon.